Welcome to the Author Spotlight. My name is Aurelia Winn. I am the owner and operator of Winn Publications. And Author Spotlight was an idea that came to me when I seen that, there's so many different self-publishers out there, but one of the things that we all have in common is marketing. And so I thought, what better way to help myself and my peers get more exposure other than by doing just kind of sort of a podcast series thing that I put on YouTube. And so here we are. I just want to welcome you and say thank you so much for being here. If you don't mind telling us about yourself, your name, and what it is that you do full time.
Well, first off, thank you so much, Aurelia, for this opportunity because, as you said, marketing is so important in order to get books out there and just to be known to the mass public and for you to just take the time to do that and recognize that that's a need or a deficiency in this industry is an amazing thing. So I appreciate you. So my name is Latasha Drax. That's like Drax the Destroyer from if you're a Marvel fan.
Okay.
and I am a full-time teacher. I teach high school.
Oh.
I've been teaching for over 10 years now. I am a career changer and have been writing ever since I was a young girl. My mother's a writer, and so I think it's just within the DNA to write. She's a poet. I'm a poet. Just well-read throughout my youth, and it's just a natural progression for me.
Okay.
So, in addition to being an educator, just an advocate as well. I have a lot of different social justice issues, just to use that current trending term that I'm involved in and advocate for. So that's me in a nutshell.
That triggered me. So you are a teacher. How did that come about? Like, obviously you have to go to school for teaching, but was that your first choice, or tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely not. It wasn't my first choice.
Okay.
I am actually a career changer, and I think I went to. Well, initially I did start college for a teaching degree, and while I was in the midst of it, I realized that it really wasn't for me as far as going through that whole the coursework that would have you to become certified to be a teacher. And I had the foresight at that time to realize that teaching is a critical needs area. I was an English major, and that I can get alternate certification, and I would be able to go anywhere in the United States and teach if I wanted to do that as my career went further. But it wasn't my first. Like I want to be a teacher with this great drive and passion. But I transitioned into teaching when my son was in elementary school and relocated to Florida, where my teaching career began. And it was just like really a means to an end. And like I said, and I knew that I would be able to do that. I really had aspirations of being a lawyer, and just, the trajectory of my life just has taken a different kind of pathway. And so I'm actually in a master's program now with a concentration in government and for a master's in government with a concentration in law and public policy, in which, I think that education, I don't regret anything that I've done in education, what I've done, what I am doing presently. But I think that, as individuals, we evolve, we grow, and, and we continue to have dreams and aspirations that we need to be able to pursue, and not get stuck or be comfortable in one place, and so that's where I am presently as far as education, and it is one of those issues of advocacy that's near and dear to me, and the state of education in the United States, particularly as it concerns children of color, and just overall, so that's where I am now, but not for long.
Okay.
Getting out of there. my shoes and beat it. So
oh,
it's just
my
over
God.
and over.
Oh, you're funny. I like you. Okay.
But it has been rewarding and everything, that ideal that, when people get into education, I mean, it has been a rewarding experience. And I have been able, not having a teaching degree, so to speak, and been able to do a lot of great things. And I mean, I'm highly qualified and certified as it pertains to those steps that you have to go through in order to get teacher certification and teach. So I don't, have been skirted that, but it's just, moving on to new things.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Kudos to you. I like it. I love it. So where are you from? Are you in Florida then, or where are you located?
I am currently in Virginia. I am a native New Yorker, born and raised, and so it doesn't matter where I go and how long I was here. I'm always a Brooklyn girl.
Oh, Lord, yeah, okay.
So it doesn't change.
Yeah. I could almost pick up on it, but I was like, I'm not sure. Let me ask her where she's from.
Yeah, I've had some kids today say that to me in class. It was like, I just love your accent. And sometimes, I guess it's more prominent than other times. But, yeah, so. And then also, too, I think when you're from New York City, not just like the state of New York, but specifically New York City, there's just, I don't want to say, the only word that's coming to my mind really is like a swag, right? There's a certain kind of presence that, people have when you are a native New Yorker, that kind of, and depending on where you are, it could be a draw, it could be something that kind of isolates you because they know or sense that you're a little bit different. So, it just really depends on the environment. Even in my school, if I say something, wear something, my principal would be like, oh, she's from New York, like it's an excuse, for my behavior or something, and I don't think that's necessarily a compliment, like, okay, what does that mean, but, yeah, so.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a New York pride there.
I love it. Being from California, whenever I go anywhere, it's like, people can tell, I guess. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I think it might be because to some people I talk a little bit like a valley girl. I don't know. And I'm completely okay with that. I said whatever.
Right, you just have to own who you are and where you come from, and that's who you are. That's the fabric of your identity, and you can't change that. You can't make excuses for it. My son loves California. He actually went to California when he graduated from college, so like he needed a vacation, so he went over there with his little girlfriend. And,
oh Lord, not his little girlfriend.
Yeah, well, that sounds not good, but yeah, but she is little. She's petite, so.
Okay.
But, she's a sweet girl, and, they went to Malibu, and they went probably more than I know, but they didn't post any pictures, so I don't really know what they were up to. But.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, see, look, I told you. If you're listening
and I'm
to
a
this
talker,
interview.
So let me stick to the script. Let's look at these questions.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this interview, I told her, I said, girl, I get caught off on tangents. So if it takes longer than 30 minutes, I apologize right now. We're 10 minutes in and we're off subject. I am so sorry. So let's talk about the main reason why we're having this interview, your book. Tell us about your latest book and what genre does it relate to, and just give us all the details.
Okay, so my latest book is Metamorphosis of Rhythm, and it is a poetry, a collection of poems. It just has 32 poems in it, so it's not quite a full manuscript, and it's not completely a chapbook, so it's kind of like in between, which makes it unique. So Metamorphosis of Rhythm is, just really, what we've been talking about so far about being transformation, evolving, change, and that's what this collection of poetry represents. It's not, I have some poems that are pretty recent within the last couple of years, but the poems span a length of time. and the metamorphosis is because it spans a length of time. You know how I've changed, how my style has changed as far as being a poet has transformed, and just experiences, life experiences, people who've come and go and stayed. How all of that has come to that point in which I'm transformed, or I'm a different person. I see things from a different lens or perspective. And so that's what this collection represents to me. And so Metamorphosis of Rhythm, when I just came with that, that title, Metamorphosis, because of the change, and thinking of a butterfly, which is the cover image there, and then of rhythm, and just the flow of the flow and the rhythm of your life, but also metaphorically, in the poetry in this book has a specific rhythm and flow in which there's a play in words. There's a lot of wordplay there. It's, written poetry, but it can also be spoken word, which often those two platforms don't necessarily have to be the same, and they're really not, just because I do spoken word doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a poet of paper, so they're two different things, but I believe that this particular collection can stand on both stages. I think that it does have that flow because of the rhythm of it, and so that's pretty much what it represents. I don't think I had someone review it. One of the persons who reviewed it, she categorized it as African American poetry, Black poets, and all that other kind of stuff. And so it was really when she tagged it and she placed it in this box of African American poetry, and and so I didn't necessarily. That's not wrong, but it's not right either, because then when you make a decision to categorize me or place me in a box, then that means that there's a specific population who are going to be drawn from that. And I don't think that particular collection is, just because I'm Black, or it should be just for Black people. I think it's, about humanity. There are some poems in there that could resonate with a different, one ethnicity over the other, but I think the voice ultimately is about humanity, and how we all change and evolve. So, so for her to do that, for me, to me wasn't, like I said, it wasn't wrong, but it's not necessarily right. What lens was she looking at it when she decided to do that? Why wasn't it more on a broader scale? Why did you tag just that and didn't tag women poets, or just something on a broader scale to kind of open up the audience that I might be striving for, because I don't want it to just be picked up by the same. So you don't see my picture. My picture is not on the cover or on the back cover or anything in the book. I guess if you see Latasha, it's
automatically think as a sister.
Yeah. You might automatically assume based on the name and the what's attached to that. But I just don't want to be just that one thing.
Interesting.
And I think that we have to be mindful of that when we do as a writer. I don't want to just be that one thing.
Wow. Okay. So I was already going to ask you, but this, leads into it well, because one thing, and I don't want, any of the others who I've interviewed, and they may be listening to this because it's not something that I asked for, but you sent me your media kit, and I said, okay, check you out.
In progress, just a working version, couple of things, because it's a working version, and I said, well, it's kind of give you, an idea of what I've done and who I am, but also to get your feedback, let me see what Miss Winn think about this, she'd be like, oh, this is good, or oh, this is horrible, like, where did you get this from?
Girl, I was like, first of all, who is this, and what? I said, okay, so I know to me, that lets me know right off the bat, like, okay, she's serious, one, about her marketing. And just listening to you and everything that you've said about your book and how, you know, you want it or don't want it to be categorized, that speaks volumes. And I think that, you know, if you don't mind maybe going into more so about that and maybe sharing with some of the other authors tips about that, because I just think that's fabulous. I think that it's something that every author should have is a media kit. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
And, you know, and everything, you know, I think that everything is a work in progress. And once again, like I said, when I sent that to you and just said this is a work in progress, for me, I feel like it's a work in progress. It serves its purpose for now because I am, when I try to go to places or when I do reach out to people, because I'm actively seeking opportunities to put not only what I've written out there, but to brand myself in a way where I am taken, you know, seriously as an author, as an independent publisher. And so the media kit piece is because this is what I see. You know, when you're serious about that thing, you start to see people asking specific questions and then sending that to a radio show or interviewer or whomever. You know, they see that you're serious, but also you get to control the narrative, right? I don't have to, you know, they don't have to guess about what to say or what to do or who you are, and they don't have to put out an image because I've already told you in advance. And that's how, you know, when you see a celebrity such as, you know, Beyonce or Kim Kardashian or these celebrities that, you know, are idolized, and, you know, they control their image. You know, they control what they put out there into the media because they, not only do they have the money to do so, but and more importantly, they understand what that looks like, you know, what that means, that I control my own narrative. And so as a independent publisher, author, it's important for me to be able to do that as well and be prepared. You know, I say all the time, don't get ready, stay ready, you know. And so these little things, these are, you know, bumps and bruises that I've learned along the way, you know. And sooner than later, I will be at a point where I can really outsource to, you know, to people who have that gift and that skill. Whereas if I take me 6 hours to do a specific thing that's graphic design, it'll take that person 6 minutes because they are skilled at that, you know. And so once I get to that point in which, you know, I can find those types of people on a regular basis, then that takes a lot out of me. It takes a lot off of me, rather, where I don't have to do so much to push that. You know, even now I'm like, I need a virtual assistant or something.
Girl, you and me both,
You know, there's so much going, you know, and it's just like, you know, that was one of your questions as well, as far as balancing, you know, how do you know, self-care things. Well, there's little things like that little thing right there saying, okay, if I design this, and it takes me so long to do it, me finding someone else who could do it to take that off of me, because I'm preserving my energy, my strength, my, you know, my peace of mind. I'm giving that over so that I can use that time to dwell in a place that makes me happier, you know. So and so those little things like that, you know, having someone who can maybe possibly do some organizational things for me, or, you know, keep me on task with it, you know, that would help me, because it knows that someone is like lifting up your hands, kind of, so to speak, right? You know, being there and being a support. So those are the types of things that I think you know, help me. So this media kit, you know, going back to that, you know, is important. I think everybody who is serious about, you know, self-publishing should really, you know, and just do the research, because it's not something I came up on my own. It's just like, okay, this is what is out there. This is what the people are asking for. And how do I do that in a manner that's professional, cost-effective, and tells my story the way I want it to be done.
Oh my gosh, wow. So definitely if you are listening to this interview, go ahead and get your pen and paper out and go ahead and rewind these last 5-6 minutes and write all of this down, because this is so, all this free information that you're getting, I mean, it's priceless. It really is, because, you know, I not only do I like publish books, but I also design websites. And one of the things that I'm seeing that most people need, and especially if you're an author and you want to have a website, is to have a brand. Like, what are your colors? What, you know, do you have a logo? How do you stand out from other authors? Like, what's your color scheme? Things like that. And people don't realize, like, yeah, it really does matter. When you look at, like, bigger businesses, you know, they have their logo. Barnes and Nobles. We self-publishers, if you're publishing your book on Barnes and Nobles, you're going to grab their logo and slap it on whatever, you know, material that you're trying to promote. Well, you know, do you have a logo? If you don't have a logo, you need to find someone to make you one or come up with one. These things are so important, especially when it comes to marketing and putting yourself out there. I just think it's one of those things that sometimes get overlooked, or maybe people just don't know about it. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?